My name is Emily Snell-Rood. I'm a professor in ecology, evolution, and behavior. We use butterflies to study how organisms deal with human environments. We mostly do our work outside in the summer, and in the winter we bring science inside. I'm excited to come into the lab for all of the cool science that we're doing. It seems like there's so many horrible things going on in the world, and yet here we can do something about it. We use butterflies as an umbrella species to understand how organisms deal with human environments and what we can do about it from a conservation perspective. And I'm really excited to show you some of what we're up to, so come on in. So butterflies, like most insects, are in a steep decline, but they're incredibly diverse and easy to identify, so they can be used as indicators for what's going on in the ecosystem. Most of the habitat that's available for restoration is in areas that suffer from pollution. And so a lot of what we're doing is documenting that pollution in the field and then asking at what level does it start to impact the insects. One of the more recent types of pollution we've been looking at has been tire particles. So as you're driving along, your tires shed particles and they go up in the dust and they settle on the roadside and they sometimes blow miles away. They also settle on the plants along roadsides that butterflies and other insects are eating. And so we've been asking, how is this dust, and these are really, really fine little particles here, how is this tire dust affecting the caterpillars feeding on them? So we put them in caterpillar diet. At what point does it start to negatively affect how a butterfly grows?
I really like the work that we do in this lab. A lot of us are motivated by conservation and trying to restore habitat, which I appreciate.
Biochar is combusted woody material that kind of looks like charcoal. So I worked on a project this summer where we added biochar to soil at a former unregulated landfill, and we were looking at how putting biochar in soil potentially removes or makes heavy metal contaminants less available to animals or organisms in the soil, so making it less harmful to things that might be there.
Through the lab, we've had probably over 200 undergrads come through the lab. And for undergrads, we're looking for anyone who's interested in research. Probably the most important thing is that they're curious, that they want to learn something, they want to try to explore stuff, because really as an undergrad, you're learning, if you're interested in research and what parts of research, and if you like it, then you might be able to have your own project as well. And so we have lots of opportunities for students to run their own project as well.
And as soon as I got here, I knew that's what I wanted to do for my career. So I worked on lots of different projects with Emily, from surveying pollinators in the field to doing different measures on butterflies and dissections. And eventually it led to me applying for grad school to work with pollinators, and that's what I'm doing today.
So you can see these are eggs. It takes a lot of protein and fat to make eggs. So we're basically just counting whether exposure to the pollutant affects their reproduction. Some students want to come in and just catch some butterflies for summer and play with butterflies, and that's fine too. But if you really want to get into it and get deeper into the research and develop your own project to answer a question, those opportunities are there as well.
Emily is particularly organized and particularly connected. It's like shocking how connected she is with people, but just constantly doing new things and very excited about doing new things and really supportive of people in the lab.
Part of me feels uncomfortable calling it the Snell-Rood Lab because it's not really my lab. I'm kind of the figurehead, but really it's the people in the lab that make the lab what it is. So thanks for visiting the lab today and learning a little bit about some of the projects we're currently working on. I love to show students what we're doing in the lab and what we're doing in the field, because observation is the first step in science, and it often is what leads to the spark of a question or an idea or an inspiration for what you want to do next.
So I would say that a student that really wants to be hands-on with research, helping us preserve the ecosystem and environment in the future.
Going out in the field, catching butterflies with nets, it's so fun.
We welcome anyone into the lab who's curious, who wants to learn. Anyone from high school students up to seniors who are retired, and of course undergrads. So we hope to see you here soon.